what are the basics of online marketing? What are the things that you need to follow in order to get started? Or if you're already started, what are the steps that you need to follow to get a great foundation, a solid foundation that you can use and that you can grow, that you can expand? What are those basic steps? Well, there are multiples like that. And let me tell you something. Hey, when I started, it was a mess because hey, everybody was telling me to do this thing. You need to post 165 pieces of content a day. You need to, I don't know, you need to do sales funnels. You need to do email marketing. And I was lost. I was confused. Too much information gets a lot of confusion in your head, and that's not good. That's not good at all because when you're in a confusion state, you don't take action. A confused mind never take action, and I was confused. But I tried to figure out, keep the BS out of the conversation and make sure that I only implemented the right tools and right strategies. Along the way, it took me a few years to do that, but along the way, I learned a few things that you need to do or not do in order to make sure that you can get the best results out of your online marketing strategy and create a solid foundations. And I got three ones for you. The first one was to understand the difference between branding and direct response. What does that mean? Branding is what can be associated with publishing content, making ads, but not for conversions, basically. It's all the idea of getting awareness, maybe PR can be included in that. It's basically gaining awareness without the intention of a conversion. And direct response, on the other hand, is the whole other, I would say, school. This is basically two schools that we got with marketers. We got the branding guys and the direct response guys. And the branding guys are more like, hey, you need to get awareness, you need to be known, you need to control the story, that's the narrative that your company is having. On the other end, the direct response guys are really focused on conversions, making sure the numbers make right, making sure the conversions are important, the sales funnels, optimizing everything to get as much money as possible. Now, maybe one of them can seem more interesting or more important to you. But the thing is, you should not pick a side. You should use both of them because they work together. That's like the always problems that we always have with, the sales and the marketing department. It's basically the same thing, but inside the marketing department. But you need to have those two working together because if you don't, you're going to really lose a lot of market share. Why is that? Because branding really helps you to get awareness, to grab attention, to grab eyes, so you can extend and get a bigger pipeline for direct response guys. Plus, it helps you to connect and to control the narrative of your brand because the internet is going to take it at some point, even if you try to control it. But if you have as much control as possible on the narrative that your brand is giving to the world and the narrative and control of the message that you want to share, you're going to be in much more control, and then you're not going to be affected by things that some people can maybe throw at you because you have a solid narrative that people know you are about, and they won't basically trust the first thing that they see about you, which is extremely important. While direct response is, of course, important to make sure that you make as much money as possible. So you need to have the both working on your side. Now, second thing I wanted to talk about is the things that you need to have. I'm going to talk about next in the presentation about the always of online marketing, but there are a few things that you should always have into your online marketing strategy. First, you need to have a sales funnel. Always have a sales funnel, because if you don't have a sales process on the internet, you don't have a sales process, you don't know where the people are going to go in order to convert, you're going to be lost, and they're going to be lost, and they're not going to buy. Always remember, a confused mind never takes action, never buys. So you need to have a sales funnel, have a step-by-step process that your customer is taking on to make sure he gets a conversion. Now, you need to also have an email list, always. And I'm going to talk about that in my next point of why an email list is extremely important. And last piece that you need to have always is a social media. As I talked to you, the branding side, you need to control the narrative of your brand, because if you don't, somebody else is going to do it for you, and oftentimes it's not going to be for the good cause, you know what I mean? So next thing that you need to have, or at least that I wanted to talk about, is the importance of building your email list and making sure that every bit of traffic that is coming your way, you need to make sure, you need to try to make it as much as possible traffic that you own. What is the difference? What does that mean? You have multiple kinds of traffics. One of them is the traffic that you own. Traffic that you own is basically you have your own list of customers and you have control over when you can send them a message. You own that traffic, you own that source. Now you also have other kind of traffic that you are renting, kind of, which is when you're doing ads, because you get the traffic, but let's say one day Facebook ads, and it happens a lot of times, Facebook ads got problems, it doesn't work, and well, your ads are not working anymore. Well, your traffic source is done, and you do not have any other ways to take it back. So you need to make sure you take as much as the traffic that you're getting from those ads and convert it into traffic that you own. So an email list is basically the way to get that. A list of all the customers that you got that you are emailing makes you have the full control over the message that you want to send, the narrative that you want to give them, and the sales process that you want to make them go through. So those were the three things that I wanted to talk to you guys about.